This is Scott with tutorialstop.com. This tutorial we're going to do some basic photo correcting, and then we are going to replace this green color of the girl's shirt to something different, maybe blue to match her eyes. Okay, so the first thing I notice is the image is a little bit on the dark side, so I'm going to adjust the levels by hitting my Control L key. And if you can't remember shortcuts, you can always go to Image, Adjustments, and choose Levels, and there's the shortcut Control L. And you can see here, pretend this is like a teeter-totter and see how much balance, out of balance this is. In other words, if this was the center of the seesaw or the teeter-totter, this side would be awfully heavy and kind of fall over. So it's not balanced. And you can see how it flat lines here. So I'm just going to balance this out by dragging this over a little bit more. And you can see when I do that, those darker pixels, I'm adjusting the highlights. This is the highlights right here in the midtones and the shadows. And I'm just pulling those highlights down a little bit and adjusting that so it's a little bit more balanced. So you can see now that it looks like there's as much material between the midtones and the highlights as there is between the midtones and the shadows. And that just brightened up a couple of the pixels up, those flat highlights there. So I'm going to click OK. And once we've done that, now we can concentrate on changing the color of the girl's shirt. Now what I always like doing is duplicating the layer that I'm currently working on in case I mess up. So I'm going to click on the background layer and I'm going to drag it down to the new layer icon. There we go. And so now you can see there's my background copy. I'm going to be working on that layer. So what I'm going to do, because there's some green grapes in her mouth and we don't want to change the color of those, is I'm just going to make a rough selection around her shirt. So I'm going to get this, I'm going to use the Polygon Lasso tool. And it's found over here. You might have the Lasso tool active, which you can use as well, but I'm going to just use the Polygon Lasso tool. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to click and click. And come up here, click, and I'm going to try to leave those grapes out. Click, 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 and then double click. And that will finish off the selection. And so I've selected this area, so when I replace the color, this green color right here, with the blue, these grapes will be left out because they're not part of the selection. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Replace Color. There it is. You can see my Replace Color dialog box pops up, and this is how this works. It's pretty nifty. I get my eyedropper tool right here, and I come, and I activate it, and I click on a green pixel. And you can see as soon as I do that, all these pixels turn white right here. I can also go to the image and see what's going on here, but I like doing the selection. So there's the green pixels. They're turning white. Make sure Preview's turned on up here. And what's great is now I can take this hue adjustment slider and start adjusting it. You can see there's a red shirt. Well, I'm going to go with blue, so I'm going to move it up this way. That's getting close. There we go. That's pretty close to the color of your eyes. Okay, so I move that over. So I've replaced most of it, but you'll notice that some of this area still looks a little bit on the green side. So what I can do is just simply come up here and adjust this fuzziness slider. I'm going to adjust it up. You can see as I do that, a little less and less of those green pixels. You can see how bright this image is getting down here. So these darker areas mean that those are still some green areas. So the bright areas are the nice bright blue pixels. I'm going to take that up. And you can see down at the image down here, I've gotten rid of almost all of those green pixels. In fact, I can slide it almost all the way up if I need to because I'm completely leaving those grapes out. So that was pretty easy to change the color of her shirt, and you can see the textures and all that kind of stuff are still inside her shirt. All I simply did was replace that green color with the other color using the fuzzy slider and of course the eyedrop tool. All I'm going to do now is click OK, and you can see now I can deselect by doing a Control D. Control D is in dog to deselect, and you can see my background layer. There's the blue shirt. If I hide that by clicking the little eyeball, green shirt, blue shirt, green shirt, and it's got basically all the green pixels that I wanted it to. And just like that, I've changed the color of her shirt. So for more tutorials and tips, go to tutorialstop.com. That is tutorialstop.com, and have a great day.